Before I move on to introducing the topic for today, I would like to take a moment to welcome and introduce our guest today, Ms. Rama Devi ma'am. She is
Thank
a child psychologist, a Montessori expert, and the correspondent of SK School of Excellence, Salem, Tamil Nadu. Welcome for this discussion, ma'am.
thank you.
Team Caprex, along with all our active educators, are looking forward to all your insights on today's talk. Today the topic is about the challenges faced by the Montessori method of education. So I think this is in fact a very important, a crucial topic. It has been a topic of controversy for over a decade now. So we'd like to get a clarity on your take as a Montessori expert on few of the things. So before we begin with the question session, I'd like to take your input on what you have to say to us about the Montessori system.
Oh, well, good evening, everybody. It's a pleasure to talk about the Montessori methodology of teaching. The Montessori methodology of teaching, Montessori itself, it's like something we are get related and connected to toddlers. So it's like early years development. So we are talking about the infant's development. So, like to begin with the session, and a beautiful topic, a sensitive topic is given to me. That is, what are the challenges faced by the Montessori methodology in the education system? So, the word system itself plays a vital role, which is a task for the Montessori methodology of teaching. So, since I'm dealing with the infant development process, I expect what I give my warm hands for the listeners. I kindly request you to put yourself into the shoes of a toddler. So unless and until you're into the shoes of the toddler, you would not understand what are the problems faced by them, because it is something related to emotions and social behavior around. So it's like a social behavior which starts from the babysitting. So we are talking about coming is precisely on the topic. What are the problems faced with the Montessori methodology against the education system? Like it is a concept of infant development versus the education system. So we all know what is Montessori. Montessori is something like hands-on learning. Starting the session, all of us, let me also be a toddler. Let the resource person before me also be a toddler, and we are all first stage. We are into the shoes of a toddler. So we are getting into the real world skills. So it's something like learning of the skills in a very scientific, before scientific, I could say systematic scientific methodology of learning. I repeat again, systematic, which means it's sequential. It should be like repetitions of scientific methodology, which is applied at the toddler's level. So once we are into the shoes of a toddler, now as we are entering into the threshold of learning, there we have the hands and the arms of a teacher, where the teacher gives warm welcome by interpreting face-to-face context and emotional concepts, and welcomes the toddler in her arms, where the first learning of adaptation takes place. So this is my first part of introducing Montessori plays a methodology of learning plays a vital role in the life of a toddler's family. So then the child enters, and now we have to know that every child who's in the arms of the teacher, threshold of learning with the concept of purpose. So I don't stop with the concept of purpose, but I continue a concept of purpose of its own. So everybody sitting in, all the toddlers before me have a purpose of its own. So we all have a purpose of its own. Now, the secondly to talk about, the first step is over, and now the learning starts. The learning begins. So when the parents know that they're sending the child in the learning space to get knowledge. The teachers know that she is in the The toddler doesn't know. So what aspects the toddler is entering into the arms of the teacher? It is entering to teach in detail. The teacher wants to teach the child in detail, but if at all the teacher has to teach the child in detail, there should be utter confusion. So the child is first exposed to a concept of confusion, which is not aligned. That is the primary entry space of a child. It just told me why I'm coming from my home. Where am I going to? Why I'm into the arms of this beautiful lady? And what is it? Of course, nutrition, healthy, nutritious food, and then the science activates into the child naturally. I repeat, nature. So Montessori methodology is very close to nature, and the child is even more closer to nature. So this is the basic fundamental thing which the teacher has to remember when the child gets into the class. So to teach in detail first is to bring already the child is in confusion. Then what is the next duty of the teacher? The teacher next concept is to inculcate knowledge. It's the main responsibility. Inculcate knowledge into the child, every child. That is, I repeat, every child with difference. Every child is child of difference. So she has to be the most motherhood teacher at that context. So to teach the child, there the teacher's responsibility is to, what is her main focus? The main focus of the teacher is to establish relationship between things which are exposed to the child. The child class, wherever the child is taken up to. So the child is exposed to nature, the child is in a small space of learning, so the child is exposed to different types of things. So what is the duty of the teacher, especially Montessori teacher within courts? It's her responsibility to establish the relationship, the segmented relationship. You and I know it's organized, but in the visual context of the child, it is messy. Because it's not introduced to anything related to learning. It is not related to anything. It is not introduced to anything related to knowledge. What it has to correlate it, interpret it, segregate it, experiment it, innovate it. Then finally, it goes to the concept of achievement. Okay. So maybe in the mid of my session, I can say, instead of telling happy evening, because we all are toddlers, I can tell you happy evening. So we know, because we are in the shoes of the toddler. The next now context coming right into my topic of challenges faced by Montessori methodology of teaching in the education system. We are now into a new demographical group. So it is a far way tasking for the toddlers for ancient toddlers of medieval period, toddlers of modern period, toddler of contemporary period, toddler of future years. So, yes. So every toddler who is exposed to learning, it comes into a new demographic group. Where now at present, we're speaking about contemporary, we are into, within quotes, the net-oriented, the techno-oriented, which is very customized. You know, it is customized, but coming again, I distinguish when the child is in the arms of the teacher, the customization is done by the child herself. She or he is the learned, and he or she is the learner. We are just observers. The teachers are just observers there. Within quotes, passionate observers, positive motivator observers. So the child becomes the teacher herself, and the child becomes the learner, him or herself. Well, in the new technological, net-oriented generation, the child is adapted to the customization of the language, systems language, the customization of educational language. So, of course, it is too much tasking, I feel, in the context of a toddler at the Montessori level, at the level of 2.5 years. Because, the society grows, the knowledge grows, technology grows, but the child should be allowed to grow with nature first. The child should be allowed to grow with himself or herself first. So that will be a persistent, permanent knowledge inculcated, infused by the teacher and inculcated by the child himself or herself. So now it is very when we come into the challenges of the modern education system, I could tell you it is very teacher centered. It is
Yes.
so much. There those days under the Gurukula, there was one teacher, one guru under the umbrella of a tree, one guru under the tree. But now we have uh, uh, one teacher for every chapter. Maybe you take trigonometry, I take mensuration, and science. You take biochemistry. Science itself is like depleted. So it has become very complex, and on this farm, on this structure, the lower level also is being adapt, which is
Yes.
very sorry in the name of Montessori teaching. So it is too much contemporary for a toddler, early years toddler. First is teacher oriented, then where is the navigation? Where is the child? From which department it's navigated to which department? A big question plays a role at the age of Montessori level. I know that children move for language, you go to the next class. For English, you go to the next class. So, but every whether you move on or you don't move on, the learning should be done with the modules produced to you in the Montessori methodology modules given to you, and you should be the excavator. You should be elevator of yourself, where you
Okay.
analyze, you diagnose it, you analyze it, and then you bring the result. Experiment result is yours, written by yours. That result, where there is no, in fact, in modern technology, we have something called as grading, testing of IQs. That is, why do you, if you're testing a toddler, you're testing nature. The nature should be eaten and digested and relished by the child itself. Why should it be tested? Are we testing any food which we are consuming? So food knowledge is also a food for the brain. So that is a very contradictory part. But that is a place where Montessori methodology is being tasked, is being challenged. Now,
Yes.
when we talk about okay,
I have a question. Like since you were talking about all this, what I get to understand is like as many of our understanding is the importance the Montessori curriculum plays in making a child self-reliant. Yes, we are making them ready to face life. So more than teaching anything else, we are teaching life skills to the children in school. So that is what the principle of Montessori entirely rides on. So in that case, how effective are the group or collaborative activities in a Montessori curriculum? So how are we enhancing the socializing aspect of a child when it comes to the Montessori curriculum?
are able to understand. The child is able to understand. Yeah, you also see the same vegetable. I also have seen the same vegetable. Though they have a context to group behavior, understand the language of the classroom. When Montessori modules are given to them, then they come out with a common conclusion. Yes, we are very close to nature. So the answer for you is that every child are allowed to manipulate or to handle the models, identify sensorial. It should be very much sensorial, independently. So it's been sensed and it has been figured out. What is it? How it has been? What is the texture? And then this is the communication language to the next student or the co-student. There, the interaction becomes fruitful. The interaction becomes successive. Well, every child of different concept, different purpose coming into the class, we are grouping them with the Montessori models. And Montessori models to help them to communicate with languages. And this language, first we have that face-to-face interaction is there. Then understanding of a common model and interaction takes place with the concept of language. And when this language is communicated within the toddlers, then they have achieved what they have come to learn. And also there is a transaction takes place, transition. They get transferred to the next. Okay, I finished with the vegetable. Now we'll go with, what is that triangle? Let's deal with the sandpaper. So they have a common source of communication. There is
Yes.
your answer to your question. They get interacted. They get one single concept of
Exactly.
learning. So
Okay,
that's
great,
it.
great.
So that's what.
The next question would be how Do you adapt your teaching styles for children with special needs in Montessori curriculum?
Special needs. Okay. So a very sensitive concentration should be given to the children of special needs. Like where the children, where the types of children comes into the class. So where at that time there should be a interaction between group behavior without the concept of age factor, because the concept in Montessori there is no age factor. All group children are being mixed up. So, where the higher age group becomes the guide to the lower age, and the special children see these context moving on, these imaginary things moving on, and it predicts, it tries to learn along with the learn. So the children of bigger age becomes the monitor. They monitor them. They become the guide, and because they could sense, they could feel that the child of bigger age is not as big as huge as the teacher herself. It could identify, it could consider the child of bigger age, but the learning becomes faster when there is learning amongst the children themselves. So there, what is the role of the teacher? She guides. She becomes the guide and the monitor for all the three categories of children. There is a normal child. On the opposite side, there's a child of higher age. In between is the child of special, with the special needs. So the special need child is even more perplexed. So the teacher gives more concentration. The teacher encourages positively the other two, the concept of A and the concept of B, but the teacher, by the emotional touch, the teacher with the concept of passion plays a very, very important role. She has to be passionate about herself. He or she has to be passionate about her profession of teaching toddlers. She has to be passionate more and more about teaching special needs children. So she has to act wise by giving more compassionate. She doesn't differentiate. That scenario, she doesn't differentiate all A, B, C. But she concentrates, her compassion is given more on so compassion and emotional needs, emotional pacification of needs plays a vital role while handling a special child, where knowledge, secondly, another answer to this question is that every anticipation of a special child, she treats it with respect. She gives dual respect. Yes, the child cries. I respect you. Why are you crying? What's happening? What's bothering you? She doesn't ignore the cry. The child is fussy. The child is untidy. She respects. So the session, it's not a thing we don't know this. This session is just a reminder, just to instinct our compassion, our concept to deliver our wisdom even more in a very natural way, with adoration and with lot of respect. So we give more respect to the special needed child.
Yes, that was very well said, ma'am.
Thank you.
This is a very important thing for as an educator, as somebody who's in a class, to have the compassion and of course the passion inside the classroom.
Yes.
So, when we were talking about this particular question, and you had mentioned about how there are mixed age children in a classroom. So since the topic is about challenges, faced in a Montessori method, how challenging is it to handle a mixed age group of children in a classroom, and how are we meeting the needs of the individual child, and considering the age groups are all different?
Okay. In individual age group children, we give importance to we segregate them as we learn. We segregate them according to the efficiency of the motor skills.
Okay.
So it is the instinct of how fast you can do appreciation. Good, get going. Of course, the child of little bigger age, the outcome and the output would be faster. The understanding would be faster, because the age itself is a instigating machinery for the child to work on faster, because it is overcome his age of 2, 3, and 4. So age group of 5 years, the child, the capacity, the output, the result orientation would be faster, and you segregate her by a positive adult interaction with positive organization. Good, great. Here we don't grade them. Here we don't test them. We have to go in for a second So it's like you basically you've cleared your prelims, then you have to go to your mains, then you have an interview, and then you get going with your position. And you have a training, and then it's not that way around. It is on the either way. The only concept of getting the child into the next into the transaction of the accomplishment of the children of higher age or children of faster is just encourage. You've done it. Get going. Good. So then, seeing that impulse of encouragement, seeing that impulse of positive orientation, attraction among the higher, the next age group, the next unfinished would follow it up. So here, socio-cultural, social behavior plays a very vital role. So here you've done it. See, she's finished it, and according to psychology, according to child psychology, the achievements is accomplished through examples. So the person who's accomplished faster is an example for you to get credentials of encouragement. Wow, you get an applause. I need an applause. I finish it faster. Do it faster, you get what you wanted. But we don't grade them at A, B, and C. Then the last one, it's okay, no problem, we get going, but you can do it. You can do much better than them. So encouragement and positive attractions plays a vital role in acting with the segregating. So where every age group is pacified with whatever they want. Their needs are being pacified. You walked into the room with different purpose. You did your experimentation. You done it. No matter, time matters. So Montessori, time plays a very vital role. What is the role of the teacher there? She keenly observes the time taken by the slow learner, little faster learner, and the one achievers instantly. But she doesn't differentiate them. All of them, all three categories, all extravaganza, everybody are common. The only thing is she grades their potential. She doesn't grade their potentials. She makes them move to the next level by making them understand that you did it, so you're moving to the next level. So you have to climb up the ladder to get onto the tree, my honey baby. So the child hits upon the trial and the error method. Well, in modern technology or systemized education, where do we have the time for trial and error method? You make mistakes, you are unidentified. You're very emotional. Your emotional impact plays a vital role. And where children are so sensitive from the age of 6 or 7 or from 3. Ma'am shouted at me in front of everybody. So we don't have the rights to play with their emotional attitudes, right? So children are very sensitive. Teachers should be even more rational.
Yes, ma'am. That was
Next
again very. Yes. So we have recently seen a rise in India where parents are opting for children in elementary and in the adolescent age as well to go for the Montessori education. So what is your take on that? Because that was a big concern, like probably in the 2010 and 2015 time where, parents were worried that this way of learning would stop after a while and the child has to again adapt to the traditional method of education. But then now we see a rise in parents opting to continue in the way of Montessori even after the elementary levels. So what is your take on this?
Yeah, what do I have to say on this topic is where the sensory conclusions, the sensory decision has been done by the experience by the parents, where the parents felt that school is not a factory. Teacher is not a manager, and the child is not the raw material. So they have understood that. I'm not putting my child into a factory. You've said the timeline of the years, whichever, so past 10 decades. The teachers have experienced their sensory activity has best worked on the parents, where they have felt that school is. I'm not in a contract with the factory of education, where a manager is monitoring my child. Where it has become in the name of improvement in technology, in the name of improvement in education, it's become very commercialized. So where we are far away depleted from nature, when we are depleted from nature, we are far away behind in learning. So the parents would have felt that, and the children, and that's children moving from classroom to classroom, as I said beginning. So there they have to put a stop to it, and make the child stop, identify yourself first, because the emotions and identity plays a vital role in Montessori. How the models are being sensed, the models are being handled by me. Hands on. I come back to my first dialogue. Hands on learning, experimentation. I achieve, I don't achieve. I fall down, I get up on myself. So experimentation, and then the guided by the teacher played a vital role, which makes the parents decide that children should not be sensitively disturbed. Children are with emotions. So children should be encouraged and focused so keenly that every activity of them is very natural. Every activity of children, because children are children. Children are not raw, as I said, children are not raw materials. Where in factory, this segment is over. Next, washing segment is over. Next, we have to pack it up. Next, we have to use the fertilizers. Next, it has to be boxed. Next, it gets into the market. Children are not that. So parents have felt that the learning has to take place at one point of time, and Montessori methodology of learning plays a vital role, where where there is a principle of Montessori applied, that is taking a free choice. The choice. I take science. I take social. I take sports. The choice is mine. The choice is mine. It's the choice is left in the hands of the child. It means the wholesome production comes out. But when the choice of learning is left on the other hand in the marketing space, there is no space for the child to innovate new things, to talk for itself. So what I come to say, it has a free choice of selection. It has its independency. Well, that is a style which has been applied for higher classes from 6 to 7 in international schools, especially Finland, America, or any other international schools. From the grade 6 or 7, the concept of choice is given in the red carpet on their hands, or it's placed on their feet. But the choice is being decided even now, very practically. Our 10th, 12th exam results are to be out by another 2 days. And where is the choice? Who's the choice? Who takes the choice? Now, the society will decide after 2 days. 7th, parents decide which group we take. This concept, that concept of choosiness of my own, is inculcated from the age of 2 through the Montessori methodology. Well, it has been adapted. That's why the English has been still interpreting with this methodology of freedom of choice in the concept of learning, because anyway we are using their memory. But why parents are eating up the child's memory? The society will really talk the truth on the 7th, whether the maximum 80% of the decision is made by the child, or the 80% of the decision is made by the parents. So reality would be there. So the main thing is the independency. Either you take a pink tower, or you take the pink tower, you take the sandpaper. The toddler decides, what do I do next? From that first second to the second minute, whether I handle my pink tower, or I handle my sandpaper, the decision is the toddler. But to make it organized, their teacher's part plays a vital role. Parents' part plays a vital role. You cannot take the pink tar and put it in the dustbin. You cannot keep scrapping the girl's sandpaper on the floor like that. No, honey, baby, you manipulate it in the right way. So we have our limit, we have our space. But we told them you manipulate it in the right way. Then the child decides, okay, I chop the pink tower, I go with the sandpaper and learn my alphabets. Get going, great. That's what I wanted from you, honey, baby. So the motivational aspects plays, according to child psychology, plays a vital role from you asked me, we are the adolescents, still the adolescents. Even at the age of 45, a child is a child for the parent. So as a human, we come back to nature. So in the process of my session, I would like to say, if we are very close to nature, what happens? What our parents did in the Vedic age? What naturally everything happened? Their production is very positive. The alignment of decision making, the alignment of rational thinking, the alignment of cognition thinking at the age of schooling days, the alignment of rational thinking at the age of adolescence is productive, is positive, society oriented. But When this is being disturbed, when we go far away from nature, everything is disturbed. The hierarchical order is messed up. Well, as I started my session, I said children walk in with confusion. But when we go far away from nature, we walk into the society with confusion. So again, we come back to our subject again. Where do we start? We start at the age of 2.5. We help them, guide them to align your modules, how to do, what to do, when to do, and decision is yours, honey babe. Either from raising early years driven age, or at the adolescence driven age, or even later to that, or we are very culture, or our democracy is very much towards culture, and it's beautiful. We just have to instinct them and guide them, and just follow them up. That's it. That's all is the space between the raising of child from the early years till they allowed to fly into the society now. Next question.
Yes, ma'am. I think that is all the questions that we had for today. And it was a very good session, a very insightful session. In fact, teachers, any teacher, working under any pedagogy, I think they have a lot of inputs to take from the session today. To be compassionate, to be passionate about their class, and of course, to no matter what, Montessori or beyond Montessori, it could be any pedagogy. But then it's important for us to guide children and make them into independent thinkers and responsible decision makers. So that they end up being responsible citizens at the end of the day.
So,
and I think
yes.
that's what education should do, no matter what pedagogy it is. I think that should be the aim of education. And any pedagogy that does it should be welcomed. And I think that is what the insights that you have given us today.
Oh, yes. The teacher herself should be passionate about herself.
Yes.
Anyway, I would like to conclude by a small statement of mine, which I say: children are for the universe. Children are of life. They are of universe. They are of life. They are of humans. They are of them. First, these three things should be adapted from the early. So it's your life, honey baby. You are for the universe. And you have to be a wholesome human. And then we start with the concept of writing, reading, and then comes the fifth or sixth stage comes the mathematics and science. Of course, we started with the science of universe, but we have to finish it with science. So it's just anyway, science and maths plays a very important role. So that ideology should be given. Of course, teachers play a very responsible role to inculcate this ideology into every child, and from the toddling till the teens. And so anyway, it's just a global. It's a wonderful session opportunity. I take it as a global awareness on my point of view, and it is very, very important, as well as it's like presentation for the future world, and in which we all live in, man. That's it. So anyway, it's this, and I think now the person, the listeners, that y'all can come out from the shoes of the toddlers and understand from the point of view of a teacher and how to handle every toddler as they're walking into your arms.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thanks for all the opportunity given to you. I'm privileged.
Thank you for your insights. Thank you for your insights, and Team Caprix, we are very happy to have you and have had a wonderful session with you today. Thank you, and have a very nice weekend.
Thank you. Thank you, Sushmita. Once again, thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.